What is good, everyone? It's me, Kevin here, JK. It's Navi Stealth Mian, and some call me Marty McFly Mian, but that's a story for another time. So today was a wild day. Number one, for the stock market because there's uncertainty around inflation and the numbers in CCIV. We held pretty strong throughout the day, but oh my gosh, the after hours, we had a steep drop. And I'm talking about yesterday, and I'm talking about CCIV. I don't think anyone expected what happened to happen after hours with CCIV, and that's the crazy part. And actually caught me off guard as well. My price target for this was at least at the low end, $80, and still is, and we'll talk about that later. So let's talk about all of this. And if you guys don't know, my name is Naveed. I talk about stocks, business, entrepreneurship, and I'm also a licensed real estate agent in the state of Maryland. So if y'all ever want to buy a house, you guys let me know. Before we start and talk about CCIV and what caused the overwhelming price action we saw or are seeing, depending on what time you're watching this video, before we start, the only thing I ask from you is to go down below and smash that thumbs up button and subscribe. I post about a lot of stuff, and I don't think y'all want to miss the things that I talk about. So, okay, let's talk about CCIV. I know so many people want to know about this. So for those of you who don't know, let me go ahead and give you guys a really quick recap. So today we got a confirmation that Lucid is officially merging with CCIV. This news came yesterday after hours, yesterday meaning February 22nd, and it was actually a few things that made the price drop the way it did. So let's talk about that. Number one, it was the fact that the market was already on edge because of inflationary fears and just not knowing what Jerome Powell will say and if the interest rates were actually going to be going up sooner than expected. So that added to somewhat of the fear that we saw yesterday. Number two, there was a lot of misinformation that came out at the time of the merger announcement. There were some articles saying that the valuation of Lucid was going to be $11.75 billion and same saying that it was going to be $24 billion, which added unnecessary fuel to the fire because higher valuation is bad, and I'll clear that up later in a few. And if there's one thing I dislike, it's misinformation, and we got plenty of that yesterday. We had articles like this where the authors don't know how to spell, and we had many bears, people going on social media saying that the deal wasn't happening and that it fell apart, which contributed to the downtrend because people didn't bother to do their own due diligence or see if the information was accurate. If there's one thing about the stock market, it's the fact that we panic sell first and ask questions later, and that's just how the market is, very impulsive. And number three, it was actually another causing factor that made the price drop along with valuation information. It was the short money. People who bought expecting rockets and who rode hoping to sell for fast money, well, we saw those people sell. Okay, now let's go back to the valuation because that I believe was a true deprecating factor for the price action we saw yesterday or that we are probably seeing today. And I will tell you the price predictions for today, next week, and going into the next few weeks or before the merger. And this is important because I don't want you guys freaking out. So for a few weeks, we've gotten articles from very credible sources saying that the valuation of Lucid will probably be around $15 to about $12 billion, and then again about $15 billion. So we knew fundamentally if Lucid got a higher valuation, it would be something that would affect the price action. The lower the valuation, the better, and the higher the valuation, it would actually be a contributing factor to a deprecating factor. When those articles came out last week and the week before that predicting Lucid valuation, it made people more confident and pile in to buy a lot of CCIV. We saw the price action go from $39 to about $50 and then to $60, and truly that price action was justified because every $10 that the price will go up, the valuation of Lucid will go up by either $15 or $11 billion before it even had cars on the road. The fear throughout the entire potential before official merger confirmation was the possible renegotiation. We didn't think that was going to be happening. So yesterday we got a notification from Bloomberg Terminal that basically stated the details saying that the companies are agreeing to a $11.75 billion transaction equity valuation, which was amazing because it was less than the $15 billion and it was less than the $12 billion that we thought previously. Lower valuation means a potentially better upward trend and overall good price action. But wait, we got another update soon after that on the Bloomberg terminal saying the same thing, the transactional value of $11.75 billion, but a pro forma 50% premium to the net asset value of $24 billion with a $4.4 billion in cash that CCIV will be giving to Lucid to use. The cash part was amazing. They can create like 3 factories with that. But this right here, the $24 billion caused the sell-off. So what happened? What made this happen? Well, they agreed to the $11.75 billion transactional value, and Lucid came and probably said, hey, look, the stock price has been climbing so much, give me a better valuation, a higher one. We can have a $11.75 billion, but how about you give us a $24 billion valuation per $15 a share so we can go ahead and raise more money later on. So the valuation that Lucid is getting is actually $24 billion per $15 a share price. So every $15 it goes up, it adds $24 billion to the market valuation of Lucid Motors. So right here, right now, at the time I'm recording this video, the stock price of CCIV is trading at $40, which values the company Lucid at around $60 billion. A few days ago at $50 a share, we were valued at $60 billion. If the price was $15 billion valuation per $10 a share, we were valued at $60 billion at $50 a share. So technically the price right now is the same as the price we saw a few days ago. The only difference is the price of the share itself is decreased to about $40. And to ease all of your thoughts and some of you whose minds are racing, this does not change the fundamentals of the company itself. It is valued almost identical or a little more than GM and a little more than XPeng. The company Lucid is still amazing. There's nothing wrong with the company itself, and there's nothing that really changes on the outlook of the company going forward except maybe a few dollars here and there when it comes to the price and the valuation of the company. So now I talk about the price predictions because I did say $80 to $120. Yeah, that would have happened because that was a very conservative price. Those numbers were very reasonable to reach from the price action we had a few days ago, or the price that we were at a few days ago, which is about $60 to about $50. We would have easily reached about $80 at least if the valuation didn't change from what it previously thought, which was about $15 billion. And you might be asking, well, what about today's price target, or what about next week's price target, or the week after that? Well, today we will likely see a small sell-off. A fair amount of people will go ahead and start taking profits. And after that, we should start climbing back up to the mid 40s or a little bit higher 40s. And then after that to the 50s up until the merger itself is complete. The insiders will not be selling because they're in a 6-month lockup period. But my prediction is that due to the price fluctuations downward, we will likely see a lot more institutions get into CCIV before another run. Many institutions couldn't get in before because some of them have strict rules about speculation plays. But now, since the merger is announced and it's not a rumor anymore, this will help the share price stabilize in the higher 50s, maybe 60s, and maybe 70s. The price target for me is still in the 80s. It'll probably just take us a little while. It won't be as immediate as we previously thought. Overall, the company is amazing. There's nothing wrong with it. So don't freak out and don't be pushed to go ahead and panic sell. I'm holding my shares strong at least up until the official merger itself, and which shouldn't be that far out from today. I tweeted about this earlier today when all this was happening to ease the tensions of many of the CCIV investors. So make sure you go ahead and follow me on Twitter and Instagram for quick and fast information when it happens. And if you're not already, make sure you go ahead and click the like button, and make sure you go ahead and subscribe for up-to-date information about stuff like this. And well, folks, that's what I have for you guys today. Thank you for watching. I love you. Don't freak out about the market. But thank you for watching. Peace out. Peace.
I'm on the beat, so you know I'm gonna rip that.